Ella Fitzgerald, known as the First Lady of Song and Lady Ella, was an American jazz and song vocalist who interpreted much of the Great American Songbook. She was born on April 25th, 1917 in Newport News, Virginia, and she had a troubled childhood that began with her parents separating after birth. With her mother, Fitzgerald moved to Yonkers, New York to live with her mother's boyfriend, Joseph da Silva. The family grew in 1923 with the arrival of Fitzgerald's half-sister, Frances. Struggling financially, young Fitzgerald helped her family out by working as a messenger, running numbers, and acting as a lookout for a brother. Her first career aspiration was to become a dancer. Her mother died in 1932. Fitzgerald ended up moving in with an aunt, and that's when she started skipping school and then was sent to a special reform school, but didn't stay long. By 1934, Ella was trying to make it on her own and living on the streets. Still harboring dreams of becoming an entertainer, she entered an amateur contest at Harlem's Apollo Theater. She sang the Hoagie McCarmichael tune Judy, as well as The Object of My Affection, which wooed the audience. She went on to win the contest's $25 prize. That unexpected performance at the Apollo helped set Fitzgerald's career in motion. Soon she met with Chick Webb and eventually joined his group as a singer. She recorded Love and Kisses with Webb in 1935 and found herself playing at one of Harlem's hottest clubs, the Savoy. Regularly, she put out her first number one hit, 1938's A Tisket, a Tasket, which she co-wrote. Later that year, she recorded her second hit, I Found My Yellow Basket. Fitzgerald also performed and recorded with the Benny Goodman Orchestra. She even had her own side project known as the Ella Fitzgerald and her Savoy 8. Following Webb's death in 1939, Ella became leader of the band. The band was renamed to Ella Fitzgerald and her famous orchestra. Around this time, Ella Fitzgerald was briefly married to a convicted drug dealer and hustler. His name was Ben Cornegay. They wed in 1941, but soon they had their union annulled. Afterwards, Fitzgerald landed a deal with Decca Records. She recorded some hit songs with Ink Spots and Louis Jordan in the early 1940s. She also made her first film debut as Ruby in 1942's comedy western Ride 'Em Cowboy with Bud Abbott and Lou Costello. Her career skyrocketed in 1946 when she started working with Norman Granz, founder of Verve Records. Fitzgerald also hired Granz to become her manager. Around that time, Fitzgerald went on tour with Dizzy Gillespie and his band. She changed her singing style, incorporating scat singing during her performances. Ella Fitzgerald also fell in love with Gillespie's bass player, Ray Brown. They wed in 1947 and adopted Raymond Brown Jr. the same year. The marriage ended in 1952. In the 1950s and 60s proved to be a time of great critical and commercial success for Fitzgerald, and she earned the moniker First Lady of Song for her mainstream popularity and unparalleled vocal talents. Her unique ability to mimic instrumental sounds helped popularize the vocal improvisation of scatting, which became her signature technique. In 1956, Fitzgerald began recording for the Verve, and for the first Grammy Awards in 1958, Fitzgerald picked up her first 2 Grammys and made history as the first African-American woman to win the award for the Best Individual Jazz Performance and Best Female Vocal Performance. For the 2 songbook projects, Ella Fitzgerald sings the Duke Ellington Songbook, and Ella Fitzgerald sings the Irving Berlin Songbook. Fitzgerald produced great recordings with such artists as Louis Armstrong, Count Basie, and even Frank Sinatra. She broke into the pop charts with her rendition of Mac the Knife, and was still going strong in the 1970s, playing concerts around the globe. By the 1980s, Fitzgerald experienced serious health problems. She had heart surgery in 1986 and had been suffering from diabetes. The disease left her blind, and she had both legs amputated in 1994. She made her last recording in 1989 and her last public performance in 1991 at New York's Carnegie Hall. Ella Fitzgerald died on June 15, 1996, at her home in Beverly Hills. Fitzgerald recorded more than 200 albums and around 2,000 songs in her lifetime. Her total record sales exceeded 40 million, and her many accolades included 13 Grammy Awards, accompanied with the NAACP Image Award for Lifetime Achievements, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom.